So it's Tuesday, and we get to catch up with both coordinators for the Indianapolis Colts. First, we hear from Lou Anarumo, defensive coordinator. And what I wanted to know and asked about is what he felt about his defense as the Chargers kept moving the ball down the field slowly, methodically, 21 plays over 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. What was that like as you're watching it? You want your defense off the field, but at the same time, you know that if they take 9 minutes off the clock, that game's over. They're not going to be able to come back to win.
Lou, obviously Buck's going to get a lot of double teams. That's just kind of his what you got when you're a player like that. What can you guys do to help him, and how well is he playing through those this season?
He's doing a great job. Had a couple the other day, a couple sacks, which is great, for him. For us, I think, he means so much to our group, means so much to the team, both on and off the field. And I think, he'll, at the end of the year, we'll look back and say, man, what a impact he's made. But up until this point in the season, he's been tremendous.
Kent.
Hey, Lou. So in the fourth quarter of the game against the Chargers, they put together a 21-play, 9-plus-minute drive, which works perfectly for you guys. Are you torn as you're watching this between, hey, we'd really like to get the defense off the field, and hey, if it takes them 21 plays to score, good, that kills their chances of winning the game?
Yeah, I mean it's a tough pill to swallow, but certainly like to get off the field a little bit quicker. But to your point, that's kind of exactly what we were talking about on the sideline. It says, hey, they're gaining some yards and doing some things, but it's taking them a long time. And then when you're up multiple scores like that, that's what you want. You're kind of playing that way for maybe give up a few things that you normally wouldn't, but you don't want to give up an explosive play, and we were able to do that. So while it wasn't ideal with the number of yards, I think at the end of the day, we were pleased with the outcome for sure.
James.
Lou, what has your relationship been like with Zaire? Just getting to know him over the last few months. He wears the green dots, but he's also, brash, talks trash, plays hard, whatever. So what's been your impression of everything that is Zaire?
Well, he's, as you mentioned, just another great team leader, brings great energy, wants to know the ins and outs of every little detail. That's what makes him such a heck of a player for us, and has been a great player around here for a long time. So, he's been great. We communicate all the time, obviously, and both on and off the field. During the game, he's done a good job being a problem solver and having some suggestions on things, and that'll only grow as we continue to go through the season. So, very pleased with him and how he approaches goes about his job.
And then one follow-up, that breakup that he had on Lad McConkey. Can you just, I see your reaction. Can you just explain like how difficult that play is, when you're, the Mike linebacker, you're expected to track a guy all the way down the field?
Yeah, well, how about the throw, first of all?
Yeah, that was sick too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And for him to, that's a lot of teams do that. It's a version of Tampa 2 where the linebacker runs the middle and there's two half safeties behind. But, Z made a great play. And as I mentioned, it was a phenomenal throw by Herbert, and it makes that play even harder for Z, and he was able to do it. It was a huge play.
Chop.
Lou, you've got guys who make the splash plays and you get guys who do the dirty work. By and large, Grover does the dirty work. What is your reaction when he makes a play like he did? And I mean, a big boy interception doesn't happen a lot.
Well, yeah, it was great. I mean, I think the overall reaction, how the play went, Grove does a great job, as you mentioned, kind of in all facets of the game for us. He's really, as we all know, great run stopper, and does a great job pushing the pocket on pass, and just always tries to do things the right way, and is constantly getting, we made a big point of getting our hands up this year, and knocking some batted balls, and I think that's important because you can just, you can steal it down here or there with a batted ball. So we've made a huge emphasis for it. Well, he knocked the thing up in the air, and initially he didn't know where it was. He was like a catcher on a pop-up, in baseball, and kind of where's the ball. And then all of a sudden, there was the ball, and he was able to make the catch, and just so happy for him and for us, obviously. But was a huge play. That was a true example of rush and coverage working together, because the quarterback held the ball because we changed the coverage a little bit there. Wasn't sure where to go with it. There really wasn't anywhere to go, and then Grove got his hands up, and just made a heck of a play. So very happy for him. The
Also,
fun moment.
you said at the end of the season, you look back and see that Buck had a pretty good season, impactful season. What is it when you've got the two inside guys like Grove and Buck? What do they allow you to do, and what do you ask of those two guys?
Well, I just think that, what they force other teams to, how they force other teams to kind of game plan for those two. And as we mentioned, as one of you guys mentioned earlier about just setting the protections to Grove or to Buck, and then, you can do some things off of that. But they are impactful on all downs, which is important. Buck played darn near 60 some odd snaps last week, which is high. And we just, with the injuries that we had, he ended up having to do that. But, those guys are just a force inside, and we moved Buck around. He played some end the other day. So all the things that he can do, and the two of them are a big part of a reason why we're where we're at today.
Thanks, Luke.
Just a few more, JJ.
Lou, when the Colts last played the Titans, you kind of said, the tape maybe didn't match Cam Ward's, like, his stats, like the tape was better than it. With him coming off maybe his best game as a pro last week, what do you see out of him now, second time going against him?
Well, I mean, we're 8 games in now, and I think he's settling into the speed of the game, and seeing the different coverages and things that teams will do to him. So I think it's just normal progression of a guy that we have a ton of respect for, and is a young player, but as you mentioned, was able to move, get the ball to different people last week, and had a great throw early in the game down the field. So. He's a good player. He's going to continue to get better. They've got some good weapons on the outside and at tight end, and the running backs are good. So, I think the more time they spend together, the better they're going to be. And I think you'll start, hopefully you don't see too much good this weekend, but I think that, they've got a good quarterback there.
We'll go with Joel, and then Nathan will be our last question.
How do you see the pass rush through the first 7 games so far? I think, every team probably wants more sacks, but your pressure numbers are pretty good.
Yeah, I believe correct me if I'm wrong on this. I want to say we're in the top 10 in sacks. I think we're 7th or 8th in the league. Certainly want to be in the top 5, but we're trending in that direction. I think, as you mentioned, part of that, the pressure rate, which gets the quarterback off the spot, is really important. So, I think we'll continue to improve and work towards getting in the upper echelon of the league. Not displeased by any stretch by what we've done. I think we're only going to get better as the season goes on.
Nathan, last question.
Lou, yesterday Shane spoke a little bit about how confidence has just continued to build in every facet of this team, especially, not only with execution on the offensive side, but the big plays that you guys have continued to pile up on defense between sacks and turnovers. How have you seen confidence in the defensive unit continue to build as this team has really rolled along through the first 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I think, certainly echo Shane's point that, the winning kind of spurs all that on, and you gain confidence through that. The thing that I'm most pleased with is when there has been challenging moments, and there will be more, challenging moments coming up. That's just the nature of our league, and week in and week out. But the way the guys have responded on the sideline, if we give up a score, we give up a big play, they're immediately, ahead of it and trying to get things worked out and fix the problem at hand. And that's a big part of confidence, when they can speak to what an issue is or potential problems, or how can we fix this, coach? What about this? What about that? And just different things that they're throwing out tells me that they really got a good handle on what we're trying to do, how we're trying to slow down the opponent. And, that's going to, as I mentioned, as we go throughout the season, those moments will be important as we continue to play games.
That's Lou Anarumo, and Lou Anarumo has a hell of a challenge on his hands this weekend because the Tennessee Titans are coming to town. They're not very good. Statistically, this is the worst team in the National Football League. His players know that, but they got to come out and they've still got to take care of the details. They beat this team badly in week 2. Cam Ward did not look great in that game. Didn't look terrible, not as terrible as he did in some other games, but he didn't look great. And this defense has played this team before. They got over on him. Does that kind of foster an environment where a little bit of kind of complacency can be a part of the recipe this weekend behaviorally? It's up to Lou Anarumo to make sure that it's not. And it sounds like he's on that.